Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online 23rd Century Starfleet Campaign. We're back at the Drozana Station. Well, we're just outside of it. And we're going to start the mission Everything Old is New. Lots of players at Drozana today.
Welcome to Drozana.
We're not going to listen to that anymore. There's always the same message. That's a Drozana thing, that's not a mission-specific thing. So let's descend right down to the Devidian portal. Now, it's given us 2 tactical officers. I am going to take Tarsi, but I'm going to take Temet, so that way we have at least some healing. Okay, a properly modulated energy discharge, so basically shoot the portal. So, zap, and there we go, we can take the portal to the past. And in the past, apparently, loading times take longer. Hopefully we get to see some of that wonderful 23rd century technology. Yep, that's looking a bit more familiar. We're still in Drozana Station, just in the past. Yeah, even if Drake doesn't care about the Temporal Prime Directive, we should. We're still Starfleet officers. So we'll set our weapons to heavy stun. Yeah, there's no one in the computer core. Okay, we're gonna have to try to find parts for a subspace field emitter. Now, I bet Daniels isn't going to be too happy about us messing around with the timeline, but it is kind of an emergency. Oh, the station's on medical alert. Okay, we're going to have to overload the computers. It's very technical for a science officer. But I guess we don't have an engineer. Now, we can use this to check the memory banks and reset the non-critical processes. Now, this is another puzzle. We don't want to touch that console over there, because that'll switch the memory to the wrong thing. Because, as you can see, the memory allocation, Bank 1 is working, Bank 2 is queued. So we'll switch the bank memory in Banks 1 and 2. So now, 1 isn't overflowed, and 2 is. And then there's another console way over here. We have to run laps around. And field integrity console. And that controls 1 and 3. So we switch them. And there we go. We've overridden the computers by giving it a complex math problem to solve.
What are you doing down here? This station is on medical alert, and nobody's supposed to be in the computer core area but me. Hey, is that a weapon? Don't try anything, or I'll have to stun you.
I'm lost.
The lift shouldn't have let you come down to this level. How did you get here?
We can tell him the truth, but that would interrupt the timeline. We can attack him, which wouldn't interrupt the timeline because we're on stun, but we're going to try to talk our way out of this. I was stuck on the lift when the station went to alert. This is where it let me out.
You should have used the intercom to call for assistance. It's not safe to move about the station during a medical alert.
You know what? You're right. I should get back up to the main station areas.
Follow me. I'm going to call security for an escort.
But if I'm contagious, won't that be dangerous?
I guess you're right. Look, just go up to the maintenance lift, get to the emergency medical center as soon as possible, and get checked out. There's a doctor up there who has set up a triage center for the affected patients.
Thanks. Okay, so we talked our way out of that one. Although, there is a security patrol walking around. They don't want to talk. They, for some reason, know we don't belong here. Yeah, we can lock them in a side room if we need to, but we gotta be quick. And we're not quick enough. Now, even though we use, like some of our abilities, it still just stuns them. And it's a heavy stun, so by the game mechanics standards, they're dead, but they're not, they're just stunned. So we can make a quick escape. Now, I'm not sure, but I think if you run up to this ensign up ahead, she'll spot you. So we are going to knock her out. Because if you try to talk to her, she'll say, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here," and call the guards. Okay, now we're going to have to take apart this computer very carefully. And it tells you the steps in which you need to do. So we'll disconnect the power, touch the static discharge plate, unlock the safety cage, remove the computer monitor, and take the plank regulator. And there's some... Actually, I'm gonna get this trionium gas, because that can be useful in crafting. There we go. Even if you fail that minigame, you still get the supplies. It's just if you pass the minigame, you get more. And I forgot, this trips me up a bit sometimes. When I first played this, I used to always go to that door. That door doesn't open. There's instead a door over here. And this is the door you're meant to take. So we'll take the maintenance lift. Oh, apparently they found us. So we're going to have to try to find a way around that door. So let's take this Jeffries tube. So we can go through that door, but I don't think we're going to be able to get past these guys without a fight. I'll try though. Maybe. There we go. All we had to do was walk by them.
Hold it right there.
Well, that's a very deep voice you have, Lieutenant Simeon. Yeah, they aren't a problem with me with my hyperonic radiation ability. You know, they say science officers and captains aren't really good for damage, but I seem to be doing pretty good. I'm not going to get that trionic gas, or trionium gas. Okay, we need to find an induction coil on this part. There's a nurse over here, tending to one of the staff. Hey, we recognize this guy. What's going on? Okay, what do you need me to do? Their brains are gone. Now the triolic radiation again. I'm a doctor, not an engineer. Okay. So you usually have to hurry a bit on this part in order to catch him in a good position, but I'm going to take my time on this one. Okay, let's scan his neuron resting potential. He's slightly below what he needs to be. Let's scan the neural sodium-potassium pump levels. Okay. And the anomalous neural activity. Yeah, he's not having a fun time. Okay, let's run over to the drained lieutenant. I think he's just trying to treat the lieutenant and the ensign. Ooh, she's even worse off with the millivolts and the neuron resting potential. And her potassium levels are slightly lowered. And the neural activity? Yeah, she's pretty much having the same symptoms. Now, we're gonna have to talk to McCoy, review our findings. Okay. I'll leave this up for a little bit. Okay, we need to restore the mind to baseline stats. So we'll calibrate to -70, +30, and sodium external, potassium external, and internal. Now this puzzle took me a little while to figure out on my first playthrough. But he feels strange, but better. Okay, now that we helped him out, we can exit through this door. And we're reminded that we need to find that induction coil, which is just in this room over here. Now, thankfully they moved the spot where you need to get this from. Before, you used to have to jump up on this console and click on this thing, which was a bit of a pain. So now we cobbled that together, and now we need to plug it into whatever this is. It looks like some sort of vent. Okay. Yep, the station is becoming infused, or suffused, with triolic radiation, and it's coming from the comet. So yeah, that's how the Devidians are getting here. we're going to try to find some way to destroy that comet. We'll jump over the railing, ignoring all safety measures, and head into this room. Now, I'm kind of taken aback that I didn't take Scavron, but we needed Timet's healing capabilities. And we're going to be fighting, so... Boom. And it forms a temporal portal, which we must shoot in order to defeat it. It's quite tough. I don't know why. But that's what apparently was bringing all these Devidians in. That took care of that, but we've absorbed so much Drolic radiation that we can get radiation poisoning by passing through the gate. Like the temporal gate. So we need the doctor's help. I have a friend who took a little too much Drolic radiation, and you could use some hydrolin. A friend, eh? Yes, a friend. But if your friend is getting radiation... Okay. And we'll need a double dose, because we've absorbed a lot of it. Hopefully I'm not going through this dialogue too quickly. And we'll return to our own time. And we'll report to Drake.
So Driffin's comet is the source of the Triolic radiation. That explains a lot. However, we cannot simply destroy it in our time. The Devidians have the means to go back to the 23rd century and harness its energy there. However, that will be their only other chance. Before that, there's no Drozana Station, so there's no place that will be close enough to the comet's trajectory to be of use to them. The only logical solution is to alter the past. Destroy the comet there, and save the Federation. As it happens, I have access to a way to transport your ship back to the 23rd century. It's risky, but I think the odds are in your favor. And if they aren't, there's always time for another try. I'll make the arrangements. Stay in touch. Drake out.
Do we have to choose here? Yep. And we get another one of these kind of noisy phaser arrays.
Until next time.
Congratulations, Commander.
And I believe coming up is the last episode for this particular storyline, Night of the Comet. So, we've determined that the Devidians are using the Drolic energy of Driffin's comet to ease their entry into our phase variants. Yeah, we kind of figured that out. And they're using temporal energy as well, so that way they can go back and forth in time. So that way they can feed as much as they want to. So they're trying to destabilize the space around Drozana, so that way they can kind of steal that and pretty much feed to their little heart's desire. So we're going to have to destroy the comet back in the 23rd century. Now, we need our ship to go back then, but our technology is a bit more advanced, and it's pretty noticeable.
Until next time.
So, I think we'll just get out of the system.
to Drozana.
Yeah, we don't need to hear your speech.
We have everything you need for Shrol, and a few things that you didn't even know you... Dining, entertainment. You'll find it all here. And don't forget the 77th rule of acquisition. If you break it, I'll charge you for it.
Wow, we could hear it all the way out here. That must be some broadcasting tower. Anyway, thanks for watching.